So to dive deep into the center of the being where it is absolute silence. So leaving your identification with your positions, with your body, emotions, thoughts, ideas, ideologies, memories, ego, all the way beyond all this. And from that pivotal standpoint, you look at the world, the mental as well as the material world. So as we have seen, you are not leaving the world, you are deepening your experience of the world. So non-judgmental observation, an observation free from biases or prejudices, questioning your own intentions. Why do you do whatever you are doing? And questioning yourself, am I doing this as an ego project or am I doing this as a Brahman project? So shifting your attention from the ego to the ecosystem, looking at the ego from the eco standpoint, samishti standpoint, you are looking at the veshti. So this experiential transformation, not just words, not just creating stories, though they all are important, what is more important is the inclusive, transcendental, all-absorbing experience, where you are not in conflict with anyone or anything. So the meditator goes deep, deepening her awareness, where the body-mind manifest as bubbles or waves in the ocean. And so Shankara is emphasizing on that, Jiva Brahma Aikyam, which is a existential fact. You are not creating it, you are only discovering it or remembering it. You have forgotten your true nature, now you are remembering. You are remembering that you are the center of the world of your experiences. I am. Even the ringing of the bell does not distract you. And the absence and the presence. Because you know the chiming or the ringing is a wave that appears in consciousness. See it that way. Saapuryamanam achalapradishtam samudramabha pravishandiyatuda. Just as a river joins the ocean and becomes the infinitude of the ocean, so too all these vibrations or sensations which pour into you finally collapse into the oceanic consciousness. So the silence we are talking about is not opposed to noise. A silence which can swallow up all the noises, in spite of the noises. Just as a wave in the ocean does not disturb the ocean. The ocean contains those waves. So Jiva Brahma Aikyam. Meaning, whatever you are expect to gain or reach, wherever you want to reach, they are already within you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranadosmyaham Jantūnām Narajanmadurlabhamata Pumstam Tado Viprata Tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Varada Vidvatvamasmat Param Atmanatma Vivejanam Sanubhavo Brahmatmana Samstitihi Bhuktirno shata janma kodi sukridai punnirvina labhyade. Durlabham trayame vedad Devanugraha hedugam Manushyattvam mumukshutvam Mahapurusha samsraya. So we come to the 60th sloka. So we made considerable progress. 60th sloka. Vagvaikhari shabdachari Shastra Vyakhyana Kaushalam Vaidushyam Vidusham Tadvad Bhuktaye Nadu Muktaye. So Bhagavan says it's not just a verbal, cerebral, logical understanding. It's a deeply spiritual, transformative, inclusive understanding. And in that understanding, everything has a place. In your consciousness, everybody has got a place. Nobody is excluded. Even your enemy has got a place. Isn't it? Ravana came from same Vaikunta. Rama also came from the Vaikunta. So they are in the green room, both Ravana and Rama are the same. No difference at all. So that kind of a seeing a purpose in everything. Nothing is meaningless. Everything has got, even a mosquito has got a purpose. A snake has a purpose. A rat has got a purpose. Everything has got a purpose. Otherwise, they will not be surviving the evolutionary process, he says. They would have been wiped out. Everything has got a purpose. So that seeing a purpose in everything, that's a leader's job or a guru's job. Shankaracharya had all kind of students. One was a great scholar, another was a ADHD teenager, another was a very old man who was kicked out of house for his wife, and third was just one who used to sweep and clean the ashram premises. Those are the kind of students Shankaracharya had. And with them, these 4 students, he put up 4 ashrams and then entrusted them to take care of each Vedas. So with a ordinary clay, he made divinity out of them by his teaching, by his inspiration, he says. So Shila Bhavati Shankaraha, he says. Even a piece of stone become Shankara, God. That kind of a transformative teaching, that's Shankara. So you don't qualify or judge people. Everybody has this potential to manifest. They manifest in different ways. Some are intellectual, some are emotional, some are physical, some are lazy. Even lazy people have got a purpose. They also have got it, because they put a brake on your neck brake speed movement, they put a brake on it. Everybody has got a purpose. That's why amandram aksharo nasti, nasti moolam anaushadam, ayogya purisho nasti, yojagaha tattadulabha. Every word is a mantra. Every root is a has medicinal property. Amandram aksharo nasti, nasti moolam anaushadam, ayogya purisho nasti. There is nobody who is useless. Only thing is that being used less, So a leader's job is to identify people, train them, put them in the right place. Everybody has got their own role to play in this great drama which is the world is. Everybody has got a role to play, So Shankara, a guru, was like that. It's not just a play of words. It is a deeply ingrained or deeply transformative experience we are talking. Experience also is to be understood properly. This experience is called Tribhuti Rahita experience. Normal experience, I put some sugar in my mouth and I experience sweetness. I am not the sugar. Sugar is not me. When we come together, there is this spike of sugar in you when it melts in your mouth. And that gives an experience. This is not like that. This is, you are realizing your own inner happiness and beauty. So you are not experiencing something outside you. You are experiencing yourself. You know, there is a snake which swallows its own tail. Sometimes you find that motive. A snake swallows its own tail. So you are discovering energy from within yourself. Happiness from within yourself. And your understanding yourself extends the whole universe. You are not confined to the body, you see. The body is in you. The body is in you. You are not in the body. The body is in you. That kind of understanding. And then body will come and go. Thoughts will come and go. So you are that oceanic consciousness. That kind of a shift in your identity from the body to the consciousness, which has beyond time and space, both time and space also in consciousness. This is what we are realizing in meditation. This is what we realize in meditation. So every day when you go to meditation, you feel as though you are a fresh start. You are starting anew. The old person has gone. The new person has come. So that kind of an understanding is important. Continuing, he says, Avijñāde pare tattve Shastrādhīdistu nishpala Vijñāde vipare tattve Shastrādhīdistu nishpala. So Shankara is the great champion of the Shastra. Shastra means Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad and all that. So a guru's job is to introduce Shastra, but here Shankara says very interestingly, Avijñāde pare tattve Shastrādhīdihi tu nishpala. Shastra studies, the studies of the Shastra, and get bogged down in the Shastra. Because there are many Shastras. You studied Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, but then what about Bhagavad? What about Narayani? What about Devi Mahatma? What about XYZ? There are plenty of things in this world. You may not be able to master all those subjects. The Shastra, knowledge of the Shastra has to culminate in self-experience. That doesn't happen. Shastra study become a burden, he said. You keep on studying. As the Shankaracharya says, Bhaja Govindam, throw away all your Shastra and take the name of the Lord. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamade. Samprapte, Sannihide, Kale, Nahi, Ratchadi, Dukrinch Karane. This Dukrinch, your obsession with the grammar is of no use, he says. When the Yama comes with his noose and throw the noose around your neck, at that time the Shastrajnana doesn't help you. So Shastrajnana is only a vehicle to take you to the destination. And if that vehicle doesn't take you to the destination, that vehicle is useless. After reaching the destination, then also vehicle is useless. You use a boat to cross the ocean. Once you cross the ocean, then the boat is not necessary. So that's what Shankara says. Avijñāde pare tattve Shastrādhīdihi tu nishpala. Shastra means futile. Study of the Shastra is futile unless you realize yourself as a happy self. So sometimes you see these scholars with a long face, with a broken chapel also, and the bag hanging from their shoulder, with a miserable mustache hanging, because there is no joy in them. They cannot dance, break into a dance, because they are so serious. So serious. That's why we have God Krishna dancing, Shiva dancing. Vishnu can come down to any level. So my point is, mere Shastra Jnanam is not enough, he says, unless you realize your natural happiness. So avijñāde pare tattve shastrādidihi tu nishpala, Shrutai. Vijñāde pare tattve, having realized the self, then you don't need the book, you say. You don't need the boat. You have already crossed the, you can keep the book. You can use it to teach someone else. Yes, Shastra has served the purpose in your case. So don't hold on to the Shastras. What you have to hold on to is yourself, which is a happy self. So avijñāde pare tattve shastrādidistu nishpala. Vijñādepi pare tattve shastrādidistu nishpala. The study of the Shastra. So a person who has mastered the Shastra become more and more silent, more and more mystic. They use few words. Their needs are limited. And they are like a deep ocean, let us say. Mahada ahradavada, like a deep ocean. No stir, no disturbance at all. So that sloka is very, very pertinent. Though Shankara is a devotee of the Shastra, he knows his limitations, he says. Unless you realize yourself, Shastra has no meaning. So let us read that. Avijñāde pare tattve shastrādidistu nishpala. Vijñāde vipare tattve shastrādidistu nishpala. So it is said in the Ishavasya Upanishad, those who claim that they know, they don't know, he said. Avijñādam vijanadam, vijñādam avajanadam. So the realized person doesn't make any claim. Those who say I know, they don't know. Those who say I don't know, they may know. Not necessarily that they know. You may say I don't know, that does not mean you know. So, Naham manye suvededi, nona vededi vedacha, yona tadveda tadveda, nona vededi vedacha. Have you seen Brahman? Have you known Brahman? Yes, I have seen. Then the Guru says, you have not seen at all. Then next examination he says, I have not known it. Then the Guru says, you have to know it. Third time, Guru become as wise, Shishya become as wise as the Guru. The answer is, I cannot say I know, nor does it mean I don't know. Between you and I, Guruji, you know what I mean. Isn't it? The Guru says, that's the kind of expression. I cannot say I know, nor can I say I don't know. Maybe I know, you know, Guruji, what I know. That's the kind of expression. Just as I told you, those who sleep, they cannot say that I am sleeping. If you say I am sleeping, that means you are not sleeping. Those who sleep, they sleep. They are not going to proclaim their sleep. So people are deeply silent. You must walk around them, circumambulate them, worship them, deeply silent. They may not proclaim their wisdom. Their wisdom oozes through their eyes and your touch and their presence. So, avijñāde pare tattve, shastrādidistu nishpala. Vijñāde vipare tattve, shastrādidistu nishpala. Continuing. So, Shastra is only an indicator, a pointer, as they say. Shastra points out. Lakshanaya points out, not Visheshana. Shastra is not defining, Shastra is only indicating. So, like the moon, I indicate, here is the moon. The moon is not on the fingertip. You have to turn your attention in that direction. Continuing. Shabdajalam maharanyam chitta brahmana karanam adaprayatnat jnadavyam tattvajna tattvamatmanah. Shabdajalam maharanyam chitta brahmana karanam adaprayatnat jnadavyam tattvajna tattvamatmanah. Shabdajalam maharanyam. These words, this forest of words, he said. Shabdajalam, Shabda kolahalam. When you come to the ashram, you come to enjoy some peace of mind. But there is a kolahalam going on here. In the dining hall, there is kolahal. On the meditation hall, there is kolahal. And even if you close your eyes, mental kolahal. all kind of thoughts are there in the mind. Apparently you are keeping quiet, but inside all kind of monkeys and donkeys are jumping. You say kolahal. Everywhere there is kolahalam. Shabdajalam, Shabda kolahalam, maharanyam is a huge forest of words, ideas, philosophies, theologies, concepts, and you are lost. You are lost. So you will get lost, when you bring all the people and get their ideas. You are planting more and more trees in the forest. So Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism itself, there are many branches. Sometimes you feel Shiva is important, sometimes you feel Vishnu is important, sometimes you feel Ganesha is. Sometimes Buddhism seems to be, mindfulness and all that. Then Christianity sometimes, Islam sometimes, atheism sometimes. So you are lost, and whenever you talk to a true atheist like Bertrand Russell or those people, you will get convinced. You will get convinced. When you come to a person, there is no God. God is dead, declared Nietzsche. God is dead. Now you can do whatever you want. Nobody is to supervise you. So there are many philosophies vying for your mind share. Especially the modern world, you have access to everything, isn't it? On the space of your cell phone. And whenever you hear somebody, they look so convincing. So you feel lost in a glass house, a dog lost in a glass house. The dog barks and thousands of dogs bark at this dog. This noise, which is the information load in the mind, cognitive load in the mind, and you are not able to digest all that. That's why modern young people are all confused. So many information. So that is why Shankara says, Shabdajalam maharanyam. It's a huge forest, you can get lost. The best method is catch hold of one guru and follow him. In spirituality, catch hold of one guru and follow him. So that guru should be sampradaya vidha. He should follow some sampradaya. And then you can have some clarity about things. So Shabdajalam maharanyam chitta brahmana karanam. It will make you brahmanam, wander hither and thither everywhere. Chitta brahmana karanam. The mind will be, everything seems to be so true. Everything seems to be so true. Because you have an experience. When you have an experience, everybody talking, and you will fall for that. And then you move from pillar to post, here and there. And you will start digging everywhere without striking water. So chitta brahmana karanam Ada prayatnat jnadavyam tattvajnat tattvamatmanaha. So you have to know the true nature, Jiva Brahma Aikyam Atmanaha, Tattvajnada, one who has realized this truth. How do you know somebody has realized the truth? Very difficult to know. Very difficult to know. That's why prasadat, by the grace of Lord, you will come the right person. And then thereafter, your journey has come to a total fulfillment. So tattvajnad, their tattva means Jiva Brahma Aikya Tattva. I have to emphasize that. Jiva Brahma Aikya Tattvam, that tattva is to be known for a person who learned it from his guru or her guru and then get established in that. Tattvajnad. Tattvam, Atmanaha Tattvam. The true nature of your being is to be realized. So go beyond the words. That's what you say. Go beyond the words. Words only indicate. They don't define things. Even Satyam, Jnanam, Anandam or Satchidanandam also are only words. They only indicate. They don't define Brahma. Much more, those words. So let's read that. Shabdajalam Maharanyam Chitta Brahmana Karanam Adaprayatnat Jnadavyam Tattvajnat Tattvamatmanaha. So what is the tattvam that you are talking about? You seems to be assuming a higher position, isn't it? You are criticizing everybody. Yoga you criticize, Sankhya you criticize, Upasana you criticize. Everything you criticize. You seem to be assuming a holier than attitude. You seem to be, you are the only person who can talk the truth. Sometimes that thought comes to you. So here Shankara says, this is based upon a diagnosis of your problem. Our problem is ajnanam, ignorance is the problem. Not ignorance about the worldly object. I am ignorant about many things, isn't it? I don't know medicine, I don't know engineering, I don't know accountancy, I don't know law. Many things I don't know. So knowledge about the objective world is varied. You cannot know everything. But something we all should know. That is, what is my nature? Who am I? So ignorance about that is called ajnana. Ajnana sarpadashtasya. Let's read that. Ajnana sarpadashtasya brahmajnana ushadham vina kimu vedaischa shastraischa kimu mandrai kim aushadhai. So you are barking at the wrong tree, he says. The problem is ignorance. How do you remove ignorance? By knowledge. How do you remove darkness? By light. Bring the light. If you sit in darkness and chant a mantra, light will not go. So how do you solve the problem? By bringing knowledge or gaining knowledge. So problem is ajnana sarpadashtasya. You have been bitten by the serpent called ignorance. Ignorance has bitten you. That's our problem. And the poison is spreading all over. So ajnana sarpadashtasya. What is the antidote for that? Brahmajnanam, he said. Knowledge of Brahman is the antidote. There is no other antidote possible. So ajnana sarpadashtasya brahmajnana aushadam vina. Without that, no solution is possible. Just as you can remove darkness only by bringing light. I hope you are sympathetic at least what is being said. The problem is diagnosed and the solution also is offered by the Acharya. So then Shankara says, Kimu Vedehi, merely by hearting the Vedic mantras are not enough. There are people who can chant the whole Veda. And still end of the day, they are looking for how many fruit has come, how much money has come. So your selfishness has not disappeared. So kimu Vedai, merely by hearting the Vedas, Shastrai, all the Shastra, the Shad Darshanam, you are a master in all that. What is the point, you say? Kimu Mandrai, or you take a particular mantra and keep on chanting that. Become mechanical after some time. Haven't you experienced that? First you get the mantra, Guru touches your forehead and utters the mantra, you chant, you feel a kind of horripilation. After 2 days, its impact is gone. Then you look for another mantra, you say. Kimu mandre, kimu aushadesha. Aushada is sometimes drugs, you take drugs. Patanjali also talks about drug. You know, the mushroom or ketamine, various drugs are there. And a simple way of enlightenment. You don't have to study the Shastra, nothing. You take a little bit, put in your mouth, and you see the whole history of evolution from Big Bang to Big Crunch. You can see. And they give you some vocabulary also to describe that. So very simple method. All of you will become enlightenment overnight, you say. But there is a hangover later. When the impact of the mantra goes, then there is a hangover. In the Vedas also we find Soma Rasa. Soma Rasa, Somam Pibama, Devam Dighama, Amrudam Babama, you say. So I took the Soma and I saw gods and I become immortal. How long? How long? After the night, when you wake up, there is a severe headache. So mantra, aushada or shastra, meaning scholarship, or Veda, chanting the mantras, are not enough. They are not sufficient unless you discover that inner self and abide there. Otherwise, all become cerebral, just a memory. You see. Kimu Vedaischa, Shastraischa, Kimu Mandre, Kim Aushadai. So now you feel I have wasted all my time, isn't it? I by-hearted Vivekachoodamani, I by-hearted Narada Bhakti Sutram, I have by-hearted Ramayanam, I have by-hearted Yoga Sutras. And you say these are all useless. These are all useless. And the gopis who learned nothing, they always live with Krishna. Or Krishna want to live with them. Krishna doesn't want to live with the scholars. Because they will not give him sleep. Constantly lecturing, he says. So Krishna want to live with gopis, gopis want to live with Krishna. They are not scholars, they are simple milkmaids, simple village maiden. And they have the same joy. But the scholar, pulling a long face, carrying a lot of books, they don't have that enlightenment. So kimu Vedaischa, Shastraischa, kimu Mandreihi, kimu Aushadai. These are all possessions. For example, all the Vedic mantras you learn, when old age, you don't remember them, isn't it? Alzheimer's. All are recorded in the brain cell. All those cells, neurons die away. Then what happens? So therefore, it is not filling your neurons with information. What is necessary is transformation. Ability to go deep within the cell. Continuing. Nagacchadi vinapanam vyadhiraushada shabdadaha vinaparochanubhavam brahma shabdaina muchyade. Nagacchadi vinapanam vyadhiraushada shabdadaha Vina parochanubhavam Brahma shabdena muchyate. So do you feel that a total sense of relaxation when you hear all this? Otherwise you will be always worrying. I completed Bhagavatam, now I have to complete Bhagavad Gita, I have to complete Ramayanam, I have to complete something else. All the time you are anxious. I have not completed this, I have not done that. My neighbor knows this, I don't know that. This we are always anxious. When you listen to this verse, you feel so relieved and relaxed. That I don't know is not a crime. I don't know all these words is not a crime. As long as I surrender totally to the Lord and collapse into myself, all the burden has been taken away. It's not just scholarship what is important. It is not how many mantras you chanted which is important. What is important is, do you know your nature as Brahman is? That's more important. So, na gacchati vina panam vyadhir aushadha shabdadaha. Your disease cannot be removed without medicine. Vina aushadha panam, without taking medicine, you cannot cure your illness. Simply writing the name of the medicine is not enough, you say. You know, if doctor prescribes a medicine and then you buy it and you keep it there, you didn't take that medicine and nothing will happen. Your blood pressure is 250, fasting blood sugar. And the doctor prescribes a medicine, but you don't take it. What is the use, he says? It's all there. I know what medicine I have to take, what time you have to take, what dose I have to take, but I don't do it. What is the point? So, Vyadihi Aushadha Shabdadaha, just by repeating the name of the Aushadam, name of the medicine, Vyadi will not disappear. Vina Panam, without taking the medicine, daily, systematically, you have to take. Meaning the medicine has to go into a system. Vina Aparokshanubhavam, Brahma Shabdaina Muchyate. Similarly, merely saying Brahman, Brahman, Brahman doesn't help. Writing, every day you write Aham Brahmasmi 110 times. Likhita Japam, they say. This also is not going to help. What will help you? Aparokshanubhavam. That's a very technical word, aparoksha. Paroksha means what you see in front of you. This is an anubhav. Now I am experiencing you. You are there, I am here. The speaker is here. After 2 hours, you will disappear, I will go my way. So you are an experienced person. This is called pratyakshanubhav. I can see you, I can hear you. But we are separate things. Then there is parokshanubhav. Paroksha means it is far away from you. You can infer about that. Paroksha, infer. That mountain there is fire. But you don't see fire, but you see smoke billowing up, then you can say there is fire. Or there is a lot of shoes there, then some people are sitting. Inferential. Then Nitya Parvasham is there. You heard about it, but you can never reach. For example, Sorga. You heard about it, but you are not reached there unless you leave this body. So there is Nitya Parvasham, Parvasham, and Pratyasham, and then there is another category called Aparosham. Aparosha is the seer, the experiencer, and the experience are the same. Can you think of that? In Pratyasha, Parosha, experiencer and the experience are different. Here, both are the same. You are recognizing yourself. You are not seeing anybody else, like the 10th man. So that's called Aparokshanubhav. The experiencer and the experience are the same. And the experiencing instrument also are the same. Like the light. The light illumines itself. You don't say, oh, the sun does come up, give me the torch light to see the sun. You don't need another light to see the light of the sun. Sun illumines itself. So similarly, the self is its own light. It does not require any other light. So therefore, in the self-experience, you don't say, I experience the self. Bhalavyapti is not there, they say. Vritti-vyapti is there. No bhalavyapti. You don't announce it or proclaim it. You become silent. So you don't ask the Guruji, have you realized the self? He will just keep silent. He will not say anything. It is for you to surmise what the Guruji means. He will not be saying. So that is called aparokshanubhavam. It's not outside you. It's all within you. So, vina aparokshanubhavam brahma shabdehi namuchyade. Merely uttering the word Brahman is not enough, he says. Let's read that. Nagaccha divina panam vyadhi aushada shabdadaha vina aparokshanubhavam brahma shabdena muchyade. Namuchyade. You don't liberate yourself, free yourself, just by words. It has to be an experiential fact. Continuing. Agrutva drishya vilayam ajñātva tattvamatmanaha vācya shabde kudo muktihi ukti matra bhalai nrunam. So the word and their meaning. The word and their meaning and the experience of that word. So if I say coffee, one word, what happens to you when I say coffee? There is certain feeling that arises in you, isn't it? Certain feelings. What is the feeling? A desire for coffee. A desire for coffee. I mean, if you are coffee priya, Sangitajna, Subramanya, they say. So if you are a coffee priya, if I say coffee, your taste buds become active and you have a craving for coffee. Then you have to get the coffee and you have to pour the coffee into your mouth and you have to roll the coffee in your mouth, isn't it? And then you feel kind of satisfaction. But merely saying coffee is not enough, we say. So here Shankara gives an example. Agrutva drishya vilayam ajñātva tattvamatmanaha bhākya shabdai kudo muktihi ukti matra bhalai nrunam. So you have to accomplish a couple of things. What are things? Agrutva drishya vilayam. Drishya means the entire visual world, perceivable world, both outside and inside. There are two kinds of perception. I see you, and the thought that arises in me when I see you, both are I see. Inner and outer theatres. This is called all drishyam. This drishyam, vilayam, the drishya should disappear, you say. The world should disappear and the mind also should disappear. That is very dangerous, isn't it? After Brahmajnanam, then you don't see the ashram. You don't see anything. So what do you mean by drishya vilayam? The perceived world should disappear. Vilayam means disappear, dissolve. In Brahmajnani, he doesn't see the world. He doesn't have any thought. He sits like a stump of tree, like a piece of stone. Sometimes we visualize a Brahmajnani. He is a Brahmajnani sitting there, doing nothing, thinking nothing, having nothing. So what do you mean by that? So, when the Shankara says you have to dissolve the world is no more an object of your desire. You don't want to possess the world. When you want to possess the world, it becomes an object of desire. Why it is not an object of desire? Because you don't see any happiness that coming from the world. The world you cannot squeeze or harvest happiness from the world. So this idea that my happiness depends upon the world is giving reality to the world. When I know my happiness doesn't depend upon the world has no significance, the world does not have any hook on you. It's something like, if I give you 10 rupees, I don't care, you take the rupee and go. But I give you 1 lakh rupees. Then I write down an email, telephone number, where are you living, what is your credit worthiness, isn't it? You loom large in my mind because you have got a great value for them. So now the world disappears as far as you are concerned because the world is not an object of your desire. You coexist with it. With Shankaracharya case, the world is mithya. It is neither real or unreal. So seeing the world as mithya, seeing the ring as nothing but gold. Does it make any sense? When you see a ring, gold ring, you don't see the ring, you see only the gold. Sometimes you see wedding ring also in it, isn't it? It is a ring, it is a wedding ring, but actually it is only gold because the ring comes and goes. You put the ring in the fire, what happened to the ring? Ring disappears, gold remains. So on the ring you superimpose on the gold you superimpose ring, on the ring you superimpose your wedding ring. Wedding ring only you see. Ring is a public thing. Wedding ring is only a private thing, pradibhasa. But the gold is the truth. Gold is the truth. So similarly, when you look at the world of objects, people, etc., you are not expecting anything from the world, especially happiness. You may expect some convenience and pleasures, some creature comforts, but that doesn't add anything to the quality of your life. So that kind of a relationship with the world is called dissolving the world. Another way of dissolving the world is, you see the world is nothing but an expression of Brahman, of consciousness, a disturbance in consciousness. So therefore, there is no world other than consciousness. Consciousness is the fundamental. Matter is incidental. Consciousness is fundamental, intrinsic. These things appear and disappear, including your body. So that kind of a relationship, a knowing relationship with the world, is called Drishya Vilayam. The world should disappear. No more an object of desire. You coexist with the world. That's all what you do. You dance with the world. But you don't want to possess, control, colonize the world. Because you are so rich. So this has not happened. Akrutva drishya vilayam. You have not seen the nature of the world. The world is so much important for you. Your relationship is so important for you. Your possessions are important. These are to be reduced into objects, not vishayas. From vishaya, vishaya should become an object, just a fact. Just a fact. So akrutva drishya vilayam, without doing that, ajñātva tattvama, not knowing your real nature. When you know your real nature, then your relationship with the world undergoes a drastic change. You no more relate with the world for happiness, but happily, that's my second principle, happily you relate with the world. then the world has no importance for you, say. World doesn't have any hook on you. So, agrutva drishya vilayam ajñātva tattvam atmanaha bhakya shabdai kudo mukti. Simply saying aham brahmasmi doesn't help you, says. You have to really come to that experience of that. Bhakya shabdai aham brahmasmi ityadi bhakya shabdai says. Tattvamasi aham brahmasmi shivoham. Sometimes you say morning mantra Namah Shivaya, evening mantra Shiva. Merely saying that is not enough. You have to go deep into the meaning of that mantra. Without that, na muktihi kudo mukti, where is liberation? Ukti matra bhalaindranam. It is only just a word. You are catching hold of the world. You are a prisoner of the world. You don't taste Brahman. You don't sweeten your experiences. As I told you, by writing sugar and dipping in the tea, it doesn't sweeten the tea. First of all, a dip, you should be really serious about it. Continuing, same sloga, akrutva drishya vilayam ajñātva tattvam atmanaha vākya shabdai kudo muktihi ukti matra bhalaindranam. Now you are in utter despair. Tell me, what should I do? I cannot chant mantra, I cannot do ritual, I cannot do upasana, I cannot remember. Tell me, what should I do? Shankara answers, don't do anything. How is that? Don't do anything. To be a happy person. Don't do it. Now your question, how do I remain without doing anything? There is no secret for that. There is no trick for that. You just drop and remain. Don't do anything, you say. That is the most difficult thing, isn't it? That is the most difficult thing. To remain doing nothing. Of doing nothing your essential nature. When you go deep into yourself, in the center of the stone, there is no disturbance. The center of the stone, there is no disturbance. The hub of a wheel doesn't move. It doesn't rotate. So when you go deep into yourself, it is a state of non-doing. There is nothing. So can you be in that silence and still do everything? Is the question. Be in that silence and still do everything. That is the challenge we are. Continuing, Shankara says, akrutva shatru samharam agatva khila bhujriyaha rajahamidi shabdad na raja bhavidum arhadi akrutva shatru samharam agatva khila bhujriyaha rajahamidi shabdad na raja bhavidum arhadi. So here Shankara gives an example. Akrutva. So here is a person who says, I am the king, I am the monarch. But have you done something for that? Akrutva shatru samharam. You have not eliminated your enemies. In a kingdom, if you want to be a monarch, a king, you should not have any enemies. At least enemies should be in the prison or under your control. Isn't it? An enemy should not be there. There can be an opposition, but they are not your enemies. So a king who has got a lot of enemies, agrutva shatru samharam, he has not eliminated the enemies. Agatva akhila bhushriyam, and he has no control over the land or the country. Then he imagines, I am the king. That doesn't help us. That all politicians imagine they have become the prime minister, isn't it? All politicians. Even a panchayat member want to become an assembly member and become an MP, become the member of the cabinet, then become the prime minister. Everybody dreams. Everybody dreams. But that dreaming alone is not enough. You have to be really the prime minister, you say. So, agrutva shastru samharam, you have not won over the opposition. You are not the ruling party. Agatva akhila bhushrayam, you have no control over the country. Rajahamidi shabdad, and you simply say, I am the king. That is just an idle dream, you say. A daydream. It has no reality at all. Raja bhavidam na arhasi. Such a person cannot call himself a king. The king has to do two things. The opposition should be under control. And you must have power over the country. Then alone you can be called a king. So here, what is the Shastru Samharam? Kama Krodadi Shatru. You have not won over Kama Krodadi Shatru. They are ruling your mind. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, Damba, Ahangara, Asūya. These 10 enemies you have not conquered. They are ruling. Then, so, Agrutva Shatru Samharam, Agatva Akhila Bhushriyam, and you have not understood your nature, Adatma. No Atma Jnana, no control over these psychological negative emotions, and you say, I am an enlightened person, has no meaning, he says. So these things have to be accomplished. So let's read that. Agrutva Shatru Samharam, Agatva Akhila Bhushriyam, Rajahamidi Shabdad, Na Raja Bhavidu Marhadi. So you can find some contradiction here. On one side the Rishi says you don't have to do anything. Another side the Rishi says you have to do a lot of things. To be Brahman you have to do nothing. But you have to prepare the ground for that. What is the ground? The mind has to be calm, should be free from the negative emotion. And also you should apply yourself in the study of the scripture. Then you realize, I have never moved away from Brahman. So you will have a wake-up experience. From the dream, you wake up to the realization. Continuing, Aptoktim khananam tadobarishida pakarshanam sivikridim Nichebas samabhechade nahivehi shabdaistu nirgachadi Tadvad brahma vidobadesha manana dhyanadi bhirilabhyade Maya karyati rohidam sumamalam tattvam na duryuktibhihi Aptoktim ghananam tato parishilabhakarshanam swigridim Nichebas samabhechade nahivahi shabdaistu nirgachadi Tadvad brahma vidopadesha manana dhyanadi bhirlabhyade Maya karyati rohidam samamalam tattvam na duryuktibhihi. So here some example is given from your life. So oil is underground, isn't it? Diamonds are underground. Gas is underground. These are the resources that drive the modern economy. You have to fuel this economy. You have to feed the people. So fuel is very, very important. So where is the fuel? Underground. There may be a lot of fuel underground, but unless you extracting, it is not available for you. So then in Balochistan there are a lot of rare earth minerals, but this is underground. How do you bring it up? So first of all you have to see where to dig. You cannot dig everywhere. Where the concentration of these metals or gas or oil, you find out, and then you have to dig there. And you have to remove the topsoil and go deep. You can be offshore drilling or onshore drilling. You have to drill, baby, as they say. You have to drill. And then when you drill all these stones and earth, you have to remove them. And then extract that oil. Then you have to refine that oil. Isn't it? Then you have to supply that oil. A lot of work is necessary there. So similarly, your Atman, which is deeply buried deep inside the body, mind, ego complex, or Maya, or Ajnanam, it's buried there. Maya, Ajnanam means the Sattva-Rajas-Tammo, Gunatmika Maya, it's buried there. So you have to dig deep into that and remove the body, mind, ego complex, which is the mud and then stones and all that, and then extract it, you say, and then refine it. All those things are to be done. That is being said here. Aptoktim ghananam tadho varishilavakarsanam swigrudim. Aptokti means one who knows, a scientist. A scientist with his instruments can identify where the oil is, where the diamond is. Oil, diamond and gas, they all are the same stuff. And the food that you eat also is the same stuff. What you eat is hydrocarbon, isn't it? Hydrocarbon. Where does hydrocarbon come from? The sunlight, through a process of photosynthesis, water, then carbon dioxide, they mix and they create hydrocarbon, and the trees store that. And then there is a rain and the trees fall down and go underground. They become diamond, oil and all that. They are all hydrocarbon, what you eat. That is oil or diamond or food. Everything is the same thing. Same sunlight and converted into food. And they go underground and it becomes oil, etc. So this treasure which is hidden under the earth, you have to bring out. How do you do that? First of all, you have to approach a scientist. He will identify where you have to dig. That's aptoktim ghananam. You cannot dig anywhere you want, like. You have to identify the site of digging. So apto means a person who has got information. Aptoktim ghananam. Ghanana means you dig. Tadho varishilavakarsanam. Then you remove all the mud and the stones and then go to the real treasure. Then swigrudim, then you can bring it out. Nitsheba means the treasure. It can be diamond, it can be gold, it can be rare earth, whatever. Samavechade. So these activities are necessary. Similarly, and nahi behi shabdaistu nirgachadi. You stand there and say, come out, the treasure won't come out, you say. Merely shouting and screaming doesn't bring the treasure out. Then what you have to do? You have to really dig. Tadvad, the same way, Brahmavidaha Upadesham. You have to listen to the teaching of the Brahmavid, the knower of Brahman. They know where to dig. Brahmavidopadesha. First is Shravanam, then Mananam, then reflect on that, then dhyanadi, then nididhyasanam. Through that process, labhyade, you can bring out your natural self, you say. You can realize, does not mean you can realize. Maya karyati rohidam. The self is hidden, veiled. The thick shroud of Maya, you say. It has been. You have to remove the veil by effort. Maya karyati rohidam. Swam, yourself. So you are hidden by ignorance, because of the ignorance, by Maya. What is that Maya? Body, mind, ego complex. You are hiding there. You have to really dig. How do you dig? By observation. Observe. This is the body, it is changing, it is objective. So there are 4 characteristics. Drishyam, nastyam, sanghadam and jadam. The body has 4 characteristics, body, mind, ego complex. One is drishyam, it's objective, you can see it. And you are the seer, drishyam. Then nashyam is changing. Then jadam, it has no agency. You have agency, meaning you can initiate a thought. Body cannot initiate a thought. Body is jadam. Then sanghadam, which is put together from many things. So drishyam, nashyam, sanghadam and jadam. That's the nature of the body, mind, ego complex, the brain. So Maya, that's called Maya. So the self is covered by these. So the body, mind, ego complex cannot cover the self actually. It is your identification with that the problem. Instead of saying, I have a body, you say, I am the body. That's the problem. Body is not a problem. Ring is not the problem. It seems the ring is hiding the gold. In fact, ring only reveals the gold, isn't it? The body is not the problem. The problem is, I am the body attitude. I am the mind attitude. I am the intellect. I am the memory. That attitude is ignorance, we say. So, Maya karyati rohidam. Maya and its karyam, its effect. Desire and activities, etc. So, all our activities presently is coming from ignorance. I told you there are 2 types of activities, 2 types of desires. One coming from your ignorance, your ego, from the cesspool of your ego, your misery. Another from the oceanic consciousness. There can 2 kinds of desire. One is liberating desire and the other is binding desire. Krishna's desire, Krishna's activity is liberating and your activity is binding, he says. So, Maya karyati rohidam swam amalam tattam na duryukti bihi. So, one has to reveal oneself through this process, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Not just independent logic, you say. Duryukti. Duryukti means you question everything. Guru says Tattvamasi. Then you say, how do you know? How do you know? I am not Tattvamasi. I want to disagree with you. Give me the proof. Proof is in the eating, isn't it? You have to follow this. So you may defeat in argument the Guru. Guru says you are an ocean of happiness and you say I am a cesspool of misery. Okay? Godspeed to you, you say. So by arguing and defeating the Guru, you are not going to be, you are going to be the loser, you say. So duryukti. Duryukti means a logic which doesn't lead you anywhere. A logic which only confirm your misery and your misery. Duryukti vihi. There is no use, you say. Na duryukti vihi. So let us read it once again. Aptroktim ghananam tadho parishilava karshanam svigrudim. Niksheva samabhekshadena bahi shabdaistu nirgachadi. Tadvad brahma vidopadeshamananadhyanadi virlabhyade. Maya karyati rohidam somamalam tat Tvam nadur yuktibihi. So the Shravana Manana Nidhyasanas serve three purposes. By Shravana you remove ajnana, ignorance about the self. By Manana you remove samshaya and doubts about the self. Nididhyasana you remove viksheva. Viksheva means old habits. Old habits very difficult to teach the dog new habits, old dog new habits as they say. So by Shravana, Atmajnanam is removed. Manana, doubts, samshayas are removed. Because when the Guru says you are not the body, you are the Atman, you have your own doubts. Is it true? Is it true? It seems that I am the body. My hunger, my thirst, my pain, my headache, my toothache, they are also real. Obviously you will have doubt. The Guru says you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the ego. It is very difficult to accept, you see. Because there is pain, there is all kind of problem. And that seems to be mine. I have got a headache. Guru says you have no head. My God. The Shastra says, you say you have a headache. Guru says you don't even have a head. That is a Chinnamasta, isn't it? She cuts her own head and dangles, blood dripping, meaning I have no head. Or Shiva's head is cut and Devi holds that. So that's the kind of spirit we are talking about. So that samshaya is always there. And that samshaya is to be removed. Logically, or these kind of stories, pictorial representation, you remove the doubts. But even though there is no doubt, all the habits will remain. We always tell a story. Here is a beggar who has been begging, for so many years. His father was a beggar, grandfather was a beggar. Beggars is their family business. Beggars also make a lot of money. Please not misunderstand. There is a beggar who died recently. His bank balance was some 4 lakhs of rupees and he had 2 homes, 2 cars, and he lent money also. Beggar. He is living on the road. But houses are given on rent. So he is a beggar and he bought a lottery ticket. And he hit the jackpot. He became a multi-millionaire. Plenty of money. Everybody is worshipping him, honoring him, garlanding him, remembering particularly his birthday and calling him. Because now he is a rich man. And ashram people going for donations, isn't it? So he is a rich man. Everybody is behind him. Everybody is behind him. When a crow gets a piece of fish, every crow will follow him. So that is the situation. He is rich and he is driving a BMW, Benz car, drivers, and air-conditioned car, music. Everybody knows he is a rich man, and then he is driving maybe to the bar or a club or something. And then he saw a crowd. When you see a crowd, you will stop and see what's happening, isn't it? Maybe an accident, maybe something happened. So he stopped the car. And then he got out of the car. Then he saw somebody distributing laddu on his birthday. This guy eaten a lot of laddu, he is a very rich man. So he stood there and slowly something happened to him. He also stretched his hand. Then the person put a laddu on his hand. Then suddenly he looked at him. My God, I am not a beggar anymore, but the beggarliness have not left me. The habit still remains in me. It is very difficult to unwind and rewind yourself. That's called Nididhyasana. Every step of the way, you have to remember. Every step of the way. In the bedroom, in the boardroom, on the road, everywhere. You have to remember Aham Brahmasmi. And you have to reweave yourself, reorganize yourself. That takes some time. That's not that easy. That's why Nididhyasana, Viksheba, old habits coming. So Jnanam, Samshayam can be removed here in the hall. Viksheba, you have to go home, and every minute, every step of the way, we have to practice. Let's read it once again. Aptoktim ghananam tadho parishilapakarshanam swigrutim nikshebas samabechadena vihi shabdaistu nirgachadi tadvad brahma vidopadesha mananadhyanadibhir labhyade Maya karyatirohidam samamalam tattvam naduryuktibihi. So Maya means the body, mind, ego complex. That's a Maya. That is what covers the self. So you have to dig. How do you dig? By observation, observing. I see the body, I am not the body. I see my thoughts, I am not the thought. I can see my ego, I am not my ego. This way, you have to go deep, excavate, go deep into the self. When you reach the self, then there is no more going, you say. There is no more going. Then you abide there. Continuing. Tasma sarva prayatnena bhava bandhami muktaye Svenaiva yatna kartavyaha rogaderiva pandide Tasma sarva prayatnena bhava bandha vimuktaye Svenaiva yatna kartavyaha rogaderiva pandide Tasma, therefore, because of all these reasons, Sarva prayatnena, you have to make all efforts, you say, mental, intellectual, emotional, shastra, association with the teacher, always alert. There is no time to sleep now, always alert. Sarva prayatnena, bhavabandha vimuktaye, to free yourself from the samsara, bhavabandha. Bhavabandha means your association, identification with the body, mind, ego complex. Body, mind, ego complex is a vehicle for you to drive around. That's the purpose of the body. Don't identify with that. Will you identify with the car? No. You won't identify with the car. It may be a new car, but there is no identification. Similarly, treat the body, mind, ego complexes. So, tasma sarva prayatnena bhavabandha vimuktaye. So, bhavabandha also can be this nagging feeling of suffering all the time. I am not okay, that kind of feeling. I am not okay. Is there any particular reason for that? I don't have any reason. Everything is fine apparently. Materially everything is fine, but I am not okay. Something is rotten deep within me, and I want to overcome this. So, bhavabandha vimukti, bhavabandha can explain many ways. Attachment to the body, attachment to the world, attachment to your relation, expectation, frustration, disappointments as a result of that. And then cursing everyone. These are all bhavabandha vimuktaye. Svenaiva yatna kartavya, and you have to make effort. Nobody else can proxy for you, he says. You have to make your own personal effort. kartabhyaha. Rogadehi iva pandidehi. Pandidehi means the seeker. The seeker has to make her own effort. You cannot help the other person in this. Guru can only walk with you, but you have to walk. Otherwise, Guru will have to drag you by the leg, isn't it? Better walk. Walk with the teacher. So, kartabhyaha rogadehi iva pandidehi. Like in the case of a disease, you have to take your own medicine. Appropriate medicine is to be taken systematically, then alone you gain the result. Continuing. Yastvayadhyakrita prashnaha variyan shastra sammadaha sutra prayo nigudhartaha Jnadavyascha mumukshubhihi. The Guru says, occasionally you have to appreciate the student. Yaha tvaya adhyakrita prashna. The question you asked me, what was the question? Ko nama bandha kadamesha gada kadam pradishtasya kadam vimuksha. I hope you have by hearted that. Kadam pradishtasya kadam vimuksha. Kosavanatma paramakatma tayor viveka katame daduchada. This question you ask, for which I have a ready-made answer. So I am very happy with you saying. Yastvayadhyakrita prashna, these questions. Variyan, most exalted question, the highest form of philosophical enquiries. Gariyan, most of the philosophers are inquiring into the world. But here, inquiry into the spirit, which is the foundation of the world. Most of the philosophers are objective people. Here we are subjectively inspired people. So, yastvayadhyakrita prashnaha variyan shastra sambada. They are most exalted questions and recommended by the Shastra, I say. Recommended by the great rishis and munis, yogis, maunis. They recommend this question. Shastra Sampada. Sutra Praya, and very precise question, like a sutra, very precise. You use the right word. So I am Nigudartha, which has got a deeper meaning. Nigudartha, deeper meaning. Jnadavyascha mumukshubhi. All mumukshus, seekers of truth, must ask such questions, he says. These are the questions will lead you to liberation. Jnadavyascha mumukshubhi. This is a little bit of boosting the self-esteem of the student. You ask the right kind of question. Let's read that. Yastvayadhyakrita prashnaha variyan shastra sammadaha sutra prayo nigudhartaha jnadavyascha mumukshubhihi. All mumukshus should ask such question. Then the Guru says, now I am going to answer again. I am going to answer this question. Now we have to listen. You manufactured the question or asked the question. And when I answer, listen carefully. When I answer, you are busy manufacturing another question, isn't it? This is not a game of just asking question. You ask the ultimate question, I am going to give you the answer. Shunusha, avahita, you have to give me your total attention. Total attention. Because they are not just a question, it's a quest. It's a thirst that you feel. It's a hunger that you feel. Not just a question. You're hungry, you're thirsty. And you grab water, food. So make your question a quest, where you are ready to pay any price. Any price. When we were students, our Guru will come at the night 12 o'clock. He is traveling and all that. 12 o'clock he comes, he says the class is 12:30. We have to wake up, get up, dress up and sit. Ram Road in the class, you cannot look here or there. So anytime you are ready to listen to the wisdom of the Master. So Shrunusva, listen very carefully. With your total being, you have to listen. Not just a partial attention, total being you have to listen. Because yadgatvadana vartante. You are going to a place from where there is no return, he says. So don't come with a return ticket also. Some people come with a return ticket, 2 days for enlightenment. Then you can go back. No. You are not going to return from this place, he says. It is a one-way ticket all the way to Brahman, he says. So Shrunusva, please listen with a total attention. How do we do that? What is the answer? We'll see. Okay, let us spend a couple of minutes integrating, imbibing, munching and chewing and then digesting whatever we have heard. We heard a couple of things, that it's a self-inquiry, the theatre or the laboratory is the body, mind, ego complex. Because that alone has a depth. A piece of stone has no depth. A tree has a little more depth. An animal has more depth. But the human beings have deeper depth, dimensions. So we make our body as a laboratory. And we are digging, diving deep, by a process of Sakshi Bhav observation. Then Anveshana Avadhi. There is an end to this digging when you get the treasure, the Atman. In this process we find pain is confined to the body. Suffering is confined to the mind. And loneliness is confined to the ego. So pain, suffering, loneliness, or a sense of abandonment which you pick up as a child, they are all on superficial levels. As you dig deeper, you come to a point where you meet your Maker, where you see your true self. Where the sadhaka and the sadhyam meet. Which is the meaning of silence? Because there is no other to distract you. So Aham Brahmasmi is not just a word or a sentence. It is a deep experience of bliss and joy, fearlessness. The flow experience, as they say. Thereafter, you don't feel any self-inflicted inhibitions. And finally, you are free, fearless. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.